Schwarzenegger getting naked. And I went, what is this, a porno flick? I don't know. How are you doing? That's the question.
I'm doing fantastic. Are you kidding me? I'm moderating a Terminator panel at Fan Expo. Things are fucking fantastic. For real. You know, at this point, listen, everyone in this room is a fan of the Terminator movies, and we know Wikipedia.
But they won't be after this panel.
You have obviously signed a lot of autographs before. What is the coolest or the weirdest Terminator-related thing you've signed?
A breast.
I can't beat that one.
When the Terminator was being made back in '83, I guess, or beginning of '84, I'm not 100% sure, like the studio didn't fully believe in the film. It was, you know, what is this movie? When did, like, the three of you realize, oh wait, we might be making something special here?
I can speak first. I only realized that we were doing something good when I saw the movie. It wasn't during the filming of the movie. I mean, if you've done enough work, you understand that a lot of stuff can feel really good and feel really right, but then you see it when it's all assembled and it sucks. Just like whatever you felt or thought you were feeling didn't necessarily work, or they didn't capture it. And I mean, it doesn't stop us from working hard to bring every single moment to life, but really the only time that I really was like, oh my God, was when I saw it.
A lot of times, things that are considered classics now, nobody thought that about the Terminator. Nobody thought Arnold was going to be a movie star. Nobody thought Arnold was going to be a movie star. Maybe Arnold did. You know? Arnold probably did, and maybe Jim thought he was when I was doing the Terminator. By the time you were doing T2, it was a different story.
What shot or sequence for each of you was the one that really was a pain in the ass, or one that you'll always remember, whether it be because it's a oneer, the camera moves, the dialogue, whatever it was?
Schwarzenegger getting naked. And I went, what is this, a porno flick? I don't know. I know, I'm a little wise ass, but.
It's a fantastic answer.
But then another guy came down and got naked. That was you.
Hello.
Yeah. I thought, they're not going to make us get naked because we're already here, did they?
One of the things this film obviously deals with is AI, and everyone's talking about AI right now. Do you think the people that are programming AI in the real world have watched the Terminator movies, and what do we need to do to make sure they do?
Let me say something about AI, and that is that Elon Musk retweeted something that I saw about 6 months ago, I think, and it was me talking to Sarah Connor in the car, and I'm telling her this is going to happen, and Terminator and future, and Sarah Connor says to Kyle Reese, that can't happen. And Kyle Reese says, no, not for about 40 years, okay? That was in 1984. It's now 2004. It's 40 years later, and look at AI. You know? I don't know if yeah.
I took a tour of SpaceX, and I was being walked through there, and I went by their computer room, you know, the server room, whatever you call that. It was behind blue glass, and it was, you know, like from here to the end of that back there. But I noticed down front there was something that I recognized, and it was a sign from T2, and it was Cyberdyne Systems. And I literally said to somebody, I said, so, and they went, oh yeah, he's a fan. And I went, wow. So I mean, the Elon is definitely an individual that has watched Terminator, and all the Terminators, you know, after. But I think he gets it, and I think Jim obviously was on to something. I think that's why those movies resonate and why they're still relevant today, is because they have all those aspects of filmmaking involved with them, not just leaning on one particular.
Not the Terminator.
Which one? Oh, Terminator?
Terminator 1 had none of that shit you're
No, it
talking
didn't.
about.
It didn't have it. No, but it did have practical stunts.
It had practical
It had
effects.
Stan Winston
It had, well, yeah.
and physical stunts.
Yeah.
The only thing you didn't have was CGI.
Well, correct.
Okay. But that's what I'm saying. It's still.
I know what you're saying.
I don't know. What are you trying to? What you dance me into a foxhole here? Or what? Come out and say what you want to say, man.
I did.
What did you say?
I didn't. We didn't have CGI for Terminator.
Move over. Do you know how many times I had to do this on the movie?
I love you, buddy.
They were.
Linda, I have a question for you.
Okay.
I'm going to make sure I read this so I say it right. Many consider Sarah Connor as one of the greatest and most influential cinematic female action heroes of all time. Yeah. I mean, and she has stood the test of time. People love this character. What does it mean to you to have portrayed this role and have influenced countless of people around the planet?
Was certainly not my intention. It feels good. I have been handed that title a few times. It's just absolutely not at all what you never know, because the first one was a slow burn too, and I don't think any of us looked at that and said this is going to be like. Whew. So you don't know where a movie role is going to lead you 7 years later. But I'll take the mantle that people have put on me, and be very grateful for it. I do think that one of the real hallmarks of that character is Jim wanted me to cut my hair when I'm getting out of the mental hospital, when I'm going to do battle. And it wasn't even a vanity particularly. Like soldiers don't have hair that you can grab on. It's a weakness. So that's why they do that in those movies. All women cut their hair. And I just thought, why not throw it back in a ponytail and I think it was the fact that she remained feminine and was able to kick ass. Do you know what I mean? Like, one of the first characters that doesn't have to look like a guy to be strong. And so I think it was that lucky sort of bit of me I don't even think it was a vanity. I just said, I don't think that we really need this. Let's just throw it in a ponytail and move on. And I think it was that gave her the sort of the global appeal. So, it's an accident of timing, too. The world is ready to see a strong woman. So, I don't really take a lot of credit for it. I think it was, an accident of timing. I do my work, I do my job, but the world was ready. It wasn't me.
Such an honor to see you guys. I flew out from Florida just as soon as they announced you guys. But for Linda, thank you so much for joining cast of Stranger Things. I'm looking forward to it. As for my question, earlier you were mentioning the alley scene behind Tech Noir. I can watch that scene a million times and never get tired of it. How much fun was it for the first Terminator doing the Tech Noir scene?
Way fun. How many times did I fall off that chair onto my butt? Falling off that chair in fear. What I remember from that is that the laser light that was pointed at my head was going to sever my eyeballs if I actually looked into the light. It was in the day of it wasn't just laser light, it was the laser light that slices through your eyeball. if you actually look at it. So, I mean, half that scene is me trying not to look into the red light. When Arnold, you know, lasers my forehead, I'm like, don't look, don't look, don't look. You know, different days. But, yeah, just as much fun as the rest of it.
And for you, Reese? Thank you so much.
It
That was
was
amazing.
every young boy, like every young boy's dream to halfway through that sequence kind of come out of nowhere with that shotgun and just shoot and rack and shoot and rack and blow him out the window. I mean, that, it just doesn't get any more macho. It doesn't get any more cool. It doesn't get any, you know, it doesn't get any better than that. It just is like that probably is, when I watch all the movies that I've done, I have certain things in different movies that I've done that are acting choices that I made, and that wasn't any choice, it was just written, but it just doesn't get any more fun than that. Whether I'm playing in my backyard at 12 with my little brother, you know, it was a wonderful, wonderful moment for me, that shot of me shooting the shotgun and re-racking and blowing him out the window. Just so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. We're actually running out of time, so what I'd like to do, if it's possible, because I see how many people are waiting to ask a question, is to do sort of like a lightning round where people can ask questions and give quick answers, so we can try to get through some people. Let's start over here.
I'm the first lightning round? Okay.
I apologize.
A huge fan of the franchise, all the movies, even TV shows, video games, stuff like that. I'm not trying to ask you a loaded question, but have you all watched any of the films or material after T2, and what do you feel about them?
I didn't watch them, and so I don't really have an answer for that one myself.
I think I watched the next two, and then I gave up. Just, you know, they just did not.
It's hard to follow Jim Cameron.
Yeah, and they just did not resonate or have the emotional impact or whatever. You just didn't care about the characters like you do in a Jim Cameron film.
So, if you don't mind, a follow-up question about Dark Fate. How did you feel about reprising Sarah Connor after so long? Because I got chills, personally.
It was scary. I mean, I kind of liked the idea that I was so much older. So I thought that was something really fun to explore. That here is, you know, this iconic character all these years later. And so I really did want to explore that. I didn't know what else I had to say as the character, but I liked the concept, and I just thought, might be fun to go back. And what if, you know, I wanted to create some difference, like this shocking difference between Sarah in the first one, Sarah in the second one. And so for this one, I was like, what if she's fat? Really, really fat. That would be like such a nice surprise for the audience. Like they never saw that one coming. But I probably have never done a film where I was that invested. I mean, I'm always invested. I'm invested in my acting, but like the outcome, I usually don't care about. Like I just do my best work and let it go. But this one, I guess because it is kind of the bookmarks of a career, and I know this is supposed to be lightning round, but it was because it was my book. Way too late for that. Bookmarks to my career, and I really cared about how it came out. And I was not actually the most pleasant person in the world, which I usually am. But just like guarding my character, do you know what I mean? And something would be written, and I'd go like, nope. They'd say, well, just say it, because I'd be like, nope. Character won't say that, not saying that. So it was an interesting time in my life to really just because I felt like I really had to stand up for Sarah Connor.
I apologize, but we do have to stop. And I really want to thank everyone for coming out today for the Terminator panel and to our awesome panelists. Thank you so much for entertaining us.
Thank you for
Thank you.
coming.
Thank you.